Student friends, in yesterday's lecture, we discussed the crystal oscillator, which works on piezoelectric effect, where we have studied that there are some naturally available crystals like quartz, tourmaline salt, rochelle salt. They have a property that when they are influenced by mechanical force across two phases, electrical charges are going to be generated with the opposite phases. It is known as piezoelectric effect. Converse is also valid. That is, when electric potential is applied across two phases, then mechanical vibrations are set up. It is known as anti-piezoelectric effect. By taking suitable crystal cuts, those can be used equivalent with series resonance circuitry or parallel resonance circuitry, both having same formula for frequency, that is f is equal to 1 upon twice pi root of LC. That means the crystal is going to act as an inductor, also it is going to act as a capacitor. And yesterday we studied crystal oscillator to generate very stable and high frequency in megahertz by making use of the Colpitts oscillator. In Colpitts oscillator, inductance is replaced by means of a crystal, whereas the rest of the circuit is maintained as it is, which is going to act as Pires crystal oscillator. Friends, up till now we have studied the LC oscillators or radio frequency oscillators that generates the frequency in a radio frequency range. But today we are going to study the different types of oscillator known as audio frequency oscillator. Means an oscillator that generates the frequency in a audio frequency range. That means the oscillator that generates the frequency between 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. Such oscillators contains resistance and capacitor in a tank circuit. So that's why these are also called as the RC oscillators. In short, RC oscillators produces the frequency in a audio frequency range. One of the such oscillator we are going to study today, and that's what we can call it as. It is the Wien-Bridge oscillator. Wien-Bridge oscillator. Wien is the name of scientist, and the oscillator is available in the form of bridge. So that's why it is called as a Wien-Bridge oscillator. Obviously, it is an audio frequency oscillator that contains resistance and capacitance in a tank circuit. Friends, such a Wien-Bridge oscillator is represented here. Look at here. This is the simple Wien-Bridge oscillator. Student friends, maybe in 12th standard or maybe in last year you studied the Wheatstone's bridge network. As far as Wheatstone's bridge network is considered, it contains 4 resistances in a 4 arm of the bridge, namely R1, R2, R3 and R4, connected to form a bridge. Across the two junctions, DC supply is connected for its operation, and across remaining two junctions, a galvanometer is connected. Friends, if the bridge is balanced, means the ratio R1 upon R2, if it is equal to R3 upon R4, then we can say the bridge is balanced. Under balanced condition of the bridge, the meter we have connected shows the null deflection. And this is the specialty of the Wheatstone's bridge. But if you unbalance the bridge, the meter will start showing the deflection. Such a type of concept is used to construct the Wien bridge oscillator. Friends, so that's what it is represented here. This is the bridge and this is the amplifier. In short, Wien bridge oscillator contains the two broad parts. One is a bridge and second one is amplifier. The output of the bridge is going to act as an input to the amplifier, and output of the amplifier is going to act as an input to the bridge. Very simple concept. Output of the bridge, look at here. Here and here. Output of the bridge is going to act as input to the amplifier. Output of the amplifier is going to act as an input to the bridge. The bridge provides 180-degree phase shift, and two-stage amplifier, common emitter amplifier, provides 180-degree phase shift. Thus, the net phase shift across the oscillator is either 360-degree or 0-degree. Thus, a positive feedback is established between the bridge and that of amplifier. One of the criteria of Barkhusia is satisfied. Friends, let me discuss the construction of the Wien bridge. Wien bridge is a 4-arm bridge. In the 2-arm, simple two resistors are connected. Look at here one and here one, R3 and R4, to which we have named. Whereas in the remaining 2-arm, resistors R and C are connected in series. And in another arm, resistors R and C are connected in parallel. Means one of the arm contains R and C in series, another arm contains R and C in parallel, whereas remaining 2 arm contains simply the 2 resistances. Student friends, this forms the bridge. Output is taken from the bridge, that is at the terminal number 2 and 4, it is connected as an input to the amplifier. Whereas output of the amplifier is given to the terminal number 1 and 3, which is input to the bridge. When bridge is balanced, meaning thereby the resistance of arm 1-4 and 4-3, the ratio of resistance of this resistance, let me call it as R1, and this resistance, let me call it as R2, R1 upon R2, if that is equal to R3 upon R4, then as per condition of the Wheatstone's bridge, we can say this bridge is also balanced. When this bridge is balanced, output produced across the bridge is 0. So input provided to the amplifier is 0. Hence output of the amplifier is 0. Hence input to the bridge is 0. Means nothing is going to happen when the bridge is balanced. But if suppose one of the arm of the wine bridge is varied or it is changed, then the bridge is going to be unbalanced. When bridge is unbalanced, definitely it will generate some output voltage. This output voltage is given as an input to the amplifier. Amplifier amplifies that particular voltage and again giving as a feedback to the bridge. From that particular feedback, from the bridge, the feedback voltage is obtained and it is given again back to the amplifier. This process is going on continuously in a wine bridge. During this process, the R and C connected in series and also R and C connected in parallel in the respective arms will undergo charging and discharging through resistance and naturally the oscillations will set up in that particular tank circuit formed by series combination of R and C and also the parallel combination of R and C. These oscillations produces the voltage when the bridge is unbalanced. Means unbalancing condition is that when the ratio of reactance of combination of R and C upon the reactance of combination of R and C in parallel combination are disturbed, naturally the bridge will be unbalanced. At that time, the oscillations so produced are given as an input to the amplifier and it is made available at the output. Student friends, this is how wine bridge is utilized to produce the oscillations in an oscillator by satisfying one of the criteria of Barkhousia, that is, there is a net phase shift of 360 degree or 0 degree. Same wine bridge oscillator is represented in an extended manner. As it is told you that this amplifier is two-stage common emitter amplifier circuit. One stage produces 180 degree phase shift. When same stage is connected to the output of first stage, it also produces 180 degree phase shift. Net phase shift is either 360 degree or 0 degree, but bridge doesn't introduces any kind of phase shift. So such extended wine bridge oscillator is represented in the next slide. So this was the extended wine bridge oscillator. This is the bridge as it is we have used. This is the series combination. Doesn't matter in whatever two R and C are connected in series or they are going to be connected in parallel. Just now we have seen. So this is R1, R2, R3 and this one is R4. It is a resistance. Naturally, here this stage is common emitter amplifier, first stage. It is used in fixed biasing mode so as to going to act as an amplifier. R5 is going to act as load on the collector. C4 is going to act as a coupling capacitor which couples the output of first stage of amplifier as an input to the second stage of amplifier formed by transistor T2. For transistors T2, its biasing is adjusted by voltage divider biasing network formed by R6 and R7. whereas R8 is going to act as a load, R9 is going to act as an emitter resistance. So this is a second stage amplifier. This is also in common emitter configuration. This is also in common emitter configuration. The first stage introduces 180 degree phase shift. Second stage also introduces 180 degree phase shift. So net phase shift of this particular amplifier is either 360 degree or 0 degree. Thus we can say here the one of the condition of Barkhausen criteria is satisfied and positive feedback is established, which is represented here. So this is the feedback path through which output is taken and it is given back to the input of the bridge. Again here when bridge is balanced, no output is available, hence no oscillations are set up. When bridge is unbalanced, by varying the impedance of R1 or R2, R1 there is series combination of RC, R2 parallel combination of R and C. By disturbing them, bridge will unbalance. At the cost of unbalancing of the bridge, it will produces the output voltage. It is amplified by two-stage common emitter amplifier and the output is made available again back to the bridge. Friends, this is how amplifier is elaborately represented here. Bridge is same, but whatever, look at here, this amplifier is there, it is elaborated, represented. It is a two-stage amplifier. This is for merely for your understanding. Friends, let us discuss now how to get the formula for frequency of an oscillator. Dear students, just now we have studied that as long as bridge is balanced, no output is available, no oscillations are set up. But when bridge is unbalanced, then and then only output is made available and then only oscillations are going to be set up and these are made available at the output. We are well aware that two-stage common emitter amplifier provides 360 degree phase shift or 0 degree phase shift to establish the positive feedback to satisfy one of the condition of Barkhausen criteria. Let us see further what happens to the second condition of Barkhausen criteria. To understand that, let me consider that when bridge is balanced, under balanced condition of the bridge, R1 upon R2 is equal to R3 upon R4. Means output is not available, output is 0. Under that condition, we can get that R1 upon R2 is equal to R3 upon R4. Meaning thereby, look at here. R1 upon R2 is equal to R3 upon R4. R3 is a series combination of R and C. R4 is a parallel combination of R and C. This or you may consider this also. Look at here. Here. Series combination of R and C and this is a parallel combination of R and C. Let me call this as a R3, R4, R1, R2. But what is R3? R3 it is a series combination of R and C. Therefore, that resistance is calculated in the form of resistance R and reactance of capacitor connected in series. So that is given by R3 is equal to R minus J into Xc. Xc is the reactance of capacitor connected in series with the resistance R. Similarly, R4 is the resistance obtained with the parallel combination of R and C. It is given as minus R jXc upon R minus jXc. Because it is a parallel combination, when it is a parallel combination, we can say 1 upon R minus 1 upon jXc. So by simplifying that, we can get R4 equal to minus RjXc upon R minus jXc. Putting value of R3 and R4 in this equation number 1 so as to get R1 upon R2 equal to R minus jXc upon minus Rjxc upon R minus jxc. The denominator will goes to the numerator. So that's why we can get R1 upon R2 is equal to R minus jxc bracket square upon minus Rjxc. By squaring the bracket, we can get R square minus 2R jxc minus x square c upon minus Rjxc. Which one can write it as R square minus x square c upon minus Rjxc minus 2Rjxc upon minus Rjxc. Rjxc cancels, minus minus becomes plus, it becomes plus 2, whereas this term remains as it is, that is R square minus x square c upon minus Rjxc plus 2. So its value comes to be 2 because this Rjxc cancels, minus minus becomes plus. Therefore, you can write it R1 upon R2 is equal to 2 plus j into R square minus x square c upon Rjxc. By equating real and imaginary terms of equation 2 with each other. Here R1 upon R2 equal to 2 is the real term. Imaginary term is R square minus x square c upon Rjxc, that's equal to 0. So therefore we can write it R1 upon R2 is equal to 2, that is R1 is equal to twice R2. Let me call this as equation number 3. This way obtained by equating real terms with each other. Similarly, by equating imaginary terms to each other, we can get R square minus x square c upon Rjxc equal to 0. Rjxc cannot be 0, therefore R square minus x square c equal to 0, that is R square is equal to x square c. By taking square root, R equal to xc. X is the reactance of capacitors, which one can write it as it is 1 upon omega c. So therefore R is equal to 1 upon omega c. Transferring the terms at the proper place, we can say omega c equal to 1 upon R. Omega is equal to 1 upon RC. Next step. But omega is equal to 2 pi f, to which we are well aware. Therefore, we can write it 2 pi f equal to 1 upon RC. From this, we can write f is equal to 1 upon twice pi root of RC. Friends, this equation gives the formula for frequency of Wien-Bridge oscillator. So, here frequency deciding components are R and C, which are connected in a Wien-Bridge network. That is, series combination of resistance and capacitor and parallel combination of resistance and capacitor decides the frequency of Wien-Bridge oscillator, that is given by formula f is equal to 1 upon 2 pi RC. Now, just we have obtained the formula for frequency of Wien-Bridge oscillator. Now, let us see what is the how second condition of Barkhausen criteria is satisfied to sustain the oscillations in the Wien-Bridge. But we already studied that in balanced condition, R2 upon R1 plus R2 is equal to 1 by 3. If this condition is satisfied, then we will get output equal to 0. No oscillations are going to be set up. Therefore, this condition R2 upon R1 plus R2 should not be 1 upon 3. It must be different. Thus we can say, but to sustain the oscillations in a bridge must be unbalanced. And when it is unbalanced provided R2 upon R1 plus R2 is not equal to 1 by 3. Not equal to 1 by 3 has a meaning that R1 upon R2, R1 plus R2 is equal to 1 by 3 minus less than 1 by 3. And this R2 upon R1 plus R2 is less than 1 by 3 by a value 1 upon 3 minus 1 upon k, where k should be greater than 3. When k is greater than 3, AV is equal to 1 upon k. Voltage gain is equal to 1 upon k. This means k into AV is equal to 1. And k into AV is equal to 1 is second Barkhausen criteria condition. Thus, both the conditions of Barkhausen criteria are satisfied by this particular wine bridge oscillator, and hence oscillations are going to be sustained in this oscillator also. But friends, try to remember, to sustain the oscillations, to produce the oscillations in a wine bridge, the bridge must be unbalanced. As long as bridge is balanced, no oscillations are produced. And to unbalance that, the gain of wine bridge oscillator circuitry should be less than 1 by 3. And formula for frequency of oscillation is F is equal to 1 upon twice pi R into C. Friends, that's all about one of the RC oscillator known as wine bridge oscillator. Next time we will go for next type of RC oscillator circuitry. Today we will stop.